blah 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 blah.
You're listening to Chicagoland's finest podcast, featuring the Gorehound.
Well, because I'm bringing us in.
Jen.
I mean, it's horrifying because,
Cousin Charles. And Nick.
I know. I thought I was going to screw it up again.
It's time for the all-new Culture Cast, starting now.
I'm the Gorehound.
I'm Jen.
And I'm Nick.
I just love that delay of who's going to talk first.
Maybe we should, plan this in future events?
I like seniority goes in order.
Do we have a seniority?
Yeah.
Alright.
Alright. Welcome back to the latest edition of the All New Culture Cast. What are we talking about tonight, guys?
Set it up.
Wait. The latest,
weren't we gonna watch Step It Up?
Okay, we've been over this. There's no such movie.
Alright. I'm just gonna get that out of my system for the...
Good. I had my Thor puns the other week. You got that.
Oh my gosh. I could not stop thinking of it. Even while I was typing it in the search, I was like, I should just watch it. Just for the fun of it. No, we're talking about Set It Up. We just decided to throw Jen a bone and watch a rom-com.
Hey, Jen, I am all for these Netflix Hallmark-style rom-coms.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
not when we have Shark Week coming up.
Well, okay, with the exception of Shark Week, maybe there's a shark rom-com out there.
Ooh, fusion.
That's an untapped market.
That's true.
I'll find it. I will
I've seen
find
a lot
it.
of rom-coms. None had sharks.
You can have the shark from Jaws have a meet cute with the shark from Sharknado.
I will find it. I will find that movie.
All right. Well, we'll talk about sharks in a few weeks, but in the meantime, we're talking about the 2018 romantic comedy Netflix.
Is this a Netflix special?
I think, Jen, you would know better.
Yeah,
I think.
yeah, it is. It's got Netflix in the.
Yeah, no, it is.
Yeah,
Netflix is trying to bring the game going.
Yeah, and dude, if they just hook, line, and sinkered us, because that's the only thing that we talk about nowadays is just Netflix movies.
Well, as when we did our Christmas Prince movie podcast a couple of months back, I said, there's a whole podcast show that could be dedicated to Netflix movies because there are so many of them, and there will continue to be so many because Netflix is becoming a monopoly, and endless amounts of entertainment. And anyway, that's a discussion for another day. Let's talk about. We're going to be talking about Set It Up, starring Lucy Liu and Taye Diggs and other people.
Zoe Dutch, however you
Zoe
pronounce.
Dutch.
I have no idea how to pronounce it.
We'll get there.
Yeah.
But let's go to our first regularly scheduled topic.
What have you been watching?
Jen, why don't you start us off tonight?
Oh, I can't. I haven't watched anything.
I'm in the same boat. This is the only thing I've
spent
watched.
the last week moving. I have not. There's been nothing.
Yeah, I've read 10 pages of my book, and that's about it.
Well, I'm disappointed in both of you.
We are a happening culture cast.
How about this? I will say I have been listening to the No Sleep podcast.
What's that about?
It's based off of a Reddit page or Reddit hellhole. I don't know what you call them. And
a subreddit.
Subreddit, sure. And so the premise behind it. Bye, Thor. So the premise behind this subreddit is that you write a story from the perspective of, and everybody treats it as if it's true, even if it appears to be fictional. And, some of them are probably true and a lot of them are probably fictionalized. And, they're usually something sort of spooky or off kilter. So the No Reddit podcast is a bunch of people, through the site. I don't know. So it's some semi-famous people. You've got a McElroy and different people who pop up again and again. They bring in professional actors to read these stories, and they there's something where you pay per quarter or something. I don't know exactly how the system
Looks
works.
like there's
I've
quite
only
a few
listened
seasons
to the free
too.
version, but
11 seasons
Yeah.
of it.
yeah. So anyway, that is a subreddit that I have read before. I don't really know how to use Reddit, but I do sometimes look at them. And the no sleep is definitely very upsetting. And you, if you watch it or read it enough late at night, it's not great. So I used to only read them while I was at work.
If I could
anyway.
piggyback off of that, the last podcast on the left, podcast that I've been listening to quite frequently, has this reoccurring episode called Creepypastas. And
Yes, it's kind of like that.
Yes, and what creepypasta is pretty much the same thing, where they just read these short fictional stories that are often frightening, but they read more of the stupid ones, and they just get hilarious because it has to do with like internet humor and like how stupid people can be. It's very funny. And they have quite a few of these. Not as much as 11 seasons worth, which I don't really know what a season of podcast really equates to.
Seasons when it comes to podcasts are just kind of whatever.
Right. Unless you're in the All New Culture Cast, in which we are season 2. What? All right, Nick, let's hear it.
I've been catching up on Riverdale. I'm about midway through the season. So I'm waiting for that podcast episode if we ever do that.
Yeah. We will.
I've been watching Arrested Development season 5, whichever the new one was came out in. I used to love that show so much. Like the first year is fantastic. Years 2 and 3, the ones that are still on Fox, were they not as good as the first year, but still pretty good. And then the Netflix season has just been really, really tough. Mostly because I think everyone was so far removed from when the show first was produced that I think they don't have that lightning in a bottle the way the first couple seasons were, and I don't know. It's just it's not clicking with me the way it used to. So
it's really disappointing.
Yeah, but I'm in it for the long haul. I secretly hope that this is the final year and that they actually wrap things up by the end of the season, because the show's doing similar to what I guess the Kimmy Schmidt is doing. They're splitting its season into 2 parts. So mostly I'm hoping this is wrapping up because it's time to end this puppy, and also given that Portia de Rossi is retiring from acting and the personal problems of Jeffrey Tambor is probably going to derail his career from here on out. If you start losing members of the cast that kind of made it what it was, it's like, what's the point after a while?
You still got Michael Cera. Doesn't he like bring everything together?
Yeah, sure, we'll go with that. But I don't know. It's just kind of like it's time for it to be quietly put down, but.
Yeah.
Just taken out in the back and shot.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, before it really, season 4 was supposed to be its victory lap. Well, it was a whimper. It was a limp. And season 5, while better in some aspects so far, has not really restored my faith in the show, which is unfortunate. But what are you gonna do? # first world problems. All right, we're going?
Yeah. That was an exciting.
Section?
That was an exciting segment, huh?
I mean, we had a lot of stuff. I really think we covered a lot of culture.
Season, not season. Man Crush of the Week.
Man crush.
It's kind of a hand in or a shoe in. It's a shoe in. He
It's Terry Crews, isn't it?
Yeah. He held it through. I guess that's been like my show to watch while eating dinner. So I guess I have been watching that. And yeah, he's holding
Brooklyn
it.
Nine-Nine.
Yeah. But I'm going to need something to excite me next week because I'm not sure if he can hold it this long.
I dig.
All right.
I guess we're going to our main topic.
Let's do this rom-com style.
Nice. So, Jen, do you want to, no pun intended, set it up? What's the story behind this rom-com?
Oh, gosh. Okay, so first of all, the premise behind it is you've got Lucy Liu and you've got, oh my god, hold on.
Taye Diggs.
Taye Diggs. And they are, people who work fancy jobs that require assistance. Like, what do they do?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. One of them does, like, finance, and the other does sports writing for a website, which I feel like you probably need an assistant, but also probably aren't paying that assistant because it's not like you can really make a lot of money doing writing on the internet. It doesn't matter, though.
The impression I got is that not only is she a reporter, but she like owns the website. Like
she must.
She's like that. She's like the one in charge of it all. I don't know.
Right.
I could be wrong, but.
So meanwhile, they have these two assistants. They've got Charlie, who works for Taye Diggs, and they've got Harper, who works for Lucy Liu, and they decide they want to get their bosses together. So they basically trick them into falling in love. In the process, they realize they're sort of into each other. And then the bosses, decide they're going to get married. They break up. They, the Harper and Charlie break up. And then,
Were they ever really together,
reconnect.
though?
Well, they're definitely doing that. I mean, I think we've all been there, except, well, actually, no, both of you, I don't feel like either of you dated a whole lot. But either way, there's definitely some people out there who have had that kind of, like, sort of a relationship where you're, like, really spending a lot of time together and don't have time to date other people, but, like, at the same time aren't really calling it what it is. I don't know. Maybe that was just me, but...
you may be onto something because yes, I have been with my wife for like 10 years, so I trust your opinion on that.
Yeah. So anyway, but yeah, so I think so they're definitely not like together, but and then the movie ends with the two of them getting together. Also, Taye Diggs ends up with it. Yeah. Well, I think if people are listening, they're gonna hear some stuff. So, okay. Well, it all ends in some surprising adventure. So, anyway, what did you guys think of this movie?
I fell asleep through it the first time around, and then I caught it. I caught the rest of it the second time around, and it was a chick flick. It was. There wasn't anything special to me. It wasn't a Notebook or a Devil Wears Prada. It was very predictable, and I liked the characters I was supposed to like, and I hated the characters I was supposed to hate.
Hello?
Who did you like?
Wait. Hold on. Cuz?
Yes.
Cuz, what's going on?
Not much. Sorry. Computer issues. It just wasn't letting me. It just been freezing up a lot recently.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Finally got to work it.
Got some Y2K bugs in there?
Probably.
Yeah.
And it's a Mac, so it's a 5-year-old Mac, so it's pretty much outdated technology.
So okay, we're just to get you up. We're already into talking about the movie. So, Jen, I'm sorry. What was your question before we got sidetracked here?
What did we
So the
think of it?
question was, what did you guys think?
Oh, okay.
And I was tearing it apart, saying I didn't like it.
I thought it was okay. I mean, it's a type of movie that you kind of know what you're getting yourself into the minute you start it. Like you kind of know where things are going to end up. Like, yes, the two young leads are going to be together at the end of it and everything. So I mean, it's more about the journey than the destination. I felt the movie was a little long at parts. Like that there was some things that they could have trimmed a little bit. I'm not exactly sure where they could have, but how long was this movie? About 2 hours or so?
Hour 5 minutes.
105 minutes, according to the Wikipedia page.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I was about ready for it to end by the time it ended, but but I don't know. I thought it was okay. I didn't have anything. It's very inoffensive. If that makes any sense.
I will
Jen-
say that. Cuts, go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna say, Jen, I want my 105 minutes back.
No, too bad.
I thought the character casting for the young couple was good. Zoe Dutch and Glenn Powell, I thought were perhaps the better part of this. I don't know Zoe Dutch. Am I saying it right?
Sure, we'll go with that.
No.
I haven't seen her in anything else, but I thought she was pretty. I thought she was good, and I thought the Glenn Powell, he was also pretty, and he was good. And I was like, okay, these two work for each other. I don't really know them that well in anything else, and that tends to give me a higher opinion of them if I don't see them in like every other movie.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't really care for Taye Diggs or Lucy Liu in anything
Really?
that they're in.
Jen, let's consider the source here. He likes Two Broke
I
Girls.
stand by it.
He does like Two Broke Girls.
Oh,
Oh, hey, so,
Kyle, you
It
would have loved
turns
this
out-
movie if Kat Dennings starred in it.
oh.
Oh,
if
yes,
it was
yes,
Kat
I-
Dennings instead of Lucy Liu, would you have liked it better?
There's a 70% possibility I would have.
Jen, what was your thoughts on this movie?
I mean, I loved it. I think that I think the romance, genre in general has been really underserved, and I think that's part of why Netflix is going after that market because, I think just in general we have not had that many romantic comedies come out lately. I think people kind of OD'd on them in the early 2000s, and they weren't making the money. I think Netflix is a great venue for them. I think they are movies that people love, and I think it's like anything else. People love their genre flicks. People, think of mystery novels. Like mystery novels are again, not about the ending because someone's going to have committed the crime, someone will have murdered that body, but it's about the journey, and it's about whether or not you like the detectives, and I guess if you don't like the main characters, you're not going to have a good time. But I think there is something that just goes into the human psyche where we like seeing attractive people date.
Yeah.
I will say, going back to the character of, White Bread, the Taye Diggs' assistant. I can't even be bothered to remember
Charlie.
his name. He was the worst.
The character or the actor?
The actor was, both. The actor was so dull. He was so cardboard.
But
And
he's very good at being, as white as can be.
No. You're missing what I'm saying. I'm saying the actor was not good, and he was boring to watch. And his character, here's the thing. This character, he's married to, or not married, he's dating like some supermodel.
Mm-hmm.
Why would a supermodel be willing to put up with a schmuck like that?
I think the implication was that she wasn't a supermodel, but she was getting into modeling but hadn't made it yet, and so then was, once she was starting to kind of make it, she could say, okay, I'm not interested in dating you anymore because you're not going anywhere. But I think she was not. I don't think she was supposed to be like a supermodel.
I didn't
Okay, I
really
guess
give her much focus at all.
I guess, I don't know. I guess I wasn't sure what her job was, other than I knew she was in modeling. I guess I thought she was already pretty well established, but maybe you might be right on that one. I don't know. But still, not that she could do better, but I'm surprised she would put up with it, given that she's going to all these, fancy parties and everything. I don't know. Just my opinion. But not opinion, my insight.
Nick, I will say I got a lot of thoughts on this film because I usually don't. Romantic comedies aren't necessarily my jam. So before this podcast, I did sit through this movie. I did watch every second of it, and I got a lot of feelings. You're all going to hear about them.
Start it up.
Really did not like this movie. Like, it just was the worst part. Like, one, the romance sucked. Like, I saw it coming a mile away. It's like, gee, or it was like, okay, one's having trouble, getting a relationship, one's in a kind of a loveless relationship. I wonder what's going to happen. So one, not very interesting. Two, no romantic chemistry between the two. I felt like there was no romantic chemistry between the two leads, which also is very detrimental to the film as a whole.
But I don't think that is bad for the caliber of this movie. It's supposed to be a lighthearted rom-com where you're not going to see them, fall in love.
Yeah, I get that, but I will say, let's talk about the second part of the type of genre this movie sits in, comedy. The two leads had like zero comedic timing at all. They were just simply unfunny. I did not once find them funny. They disappoint their parents. Must be so disappointed at all that money they spent sending their kids to Juilliard, because they are acting man and acting lady as far as I'm concerned. They are just not funny, have no romantic chemistry, and I wish them the best of luck at their job over at Steak and Shake.
I'm going to disagree with all of that.
Because what is one of your favorite funny movies?
Well, I said if you listen to the 100th episode special, I say Animal House. But there are a lot of other funny movies and funny TV shows that work by having jokes and having funny situations. There was only one funny situation that I actually did laugh at. It was right near the beginning. It was the elevator scene. That was the only one. With the
guy getting naked?
Yeah, the guy just getting naked taking a piss. I don't know why that got me.
That was pretty funny.
It was so left field and out there that I'm like, okay. I forgot I don't know who the guy is, but he's on Unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt.
Titus.
Yeah, Titus. But he was like, they called him like Creepy Tim or something like that. He was great. Was like that's the thing about these like early 2000s style rom-coms is like most of them are pretty bland when it comes to actual comedy, but they always have like one like really funny scene. Like they compressed all their funny energy into one sequence.
Okay. Wait, this isn't early 2000s. This is 2018, for the record.
It's the same style. It's your Adam Sandler, kind
same
of
style as early 2000s.
Yeah, early 2000s romantic comedies.
I wouldn't say this is an Adam Sandler type movie.
I got a lot of
it doesn't rely on like
there was a man who got
offensive humor.
There was a man who got naked in an elevator and took a piss. That would be well at home in like a 51st Dates.
Yeah, but that's like the only joke they tell in 51st Dates. There was like lots of other things than one scene than a guy peeing.
I don't know.
Nick, I want to hear your retort thus far.
Well, Jen, I don't know. You and I might be on the same page with this. Humor is very subjective.
Of course, you can't account for taste for everybody.
Yeah, I mean, I watch Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back like once a month. And
Two Broke Girls. That's your favorite show,
right? And I can't get enough of it.
Humor's very subjective, and the type of comedy when you're looking at, for example, Charlie, you're looking at Animal House. The type of comedy in that film is very different than the type of comedy in a film like this. Oh. This is not meant to be like not necessarily a laugh out loud, knee splitting type of thing. It's more of a, I don't know. Jen, you might be able to better define this than me.
I think it's fair to say that not everything can be the kind of like highbrow pretending to be a zit and making mashed potatoes come out of your mouth. Like not everything can be that. Like it can't be. I agree. This is definitely much more of like a quiet, it's meant to be amusing. It's not meant to be, like a huge laugh getter. But I think one of the things, and again, humor being subjective, I can agree to that. But I thought they had pretty good timing. I thought, there's a lot of like really amusing kind of character beats. You see her, you see Harper seeing her roommate get engaged, and she's like, "But we're too young to be married," and stuff like that. And to me, I find that to be the kind of like quiet, relatable, humor of like, yeah, like we've all been there when your first friend gets married, and you're like, "Oh wow." I didn't realize we were doing that yet. Gorehound, you were that person for everyone, I'm sure. but just stuff like that, where I was like, yeah, that is relatable. That's the sort of like kind of real to life. Obviously that they've got a little bit of the kind of Gilmore Girls talking fast, having quips at each other, but at the same time you've got a lot of like kind of just very relatable scenarios.
Yeah, I'm going to agree with that, Jen. It's very amusing. I'm going to also disagree with you on Charlie that I, even though I wasn't the biggest fan of the guy, I thought he was good enough, and I liked the girl. Harper, was that her character name again? I can't remember.
Harper and Charlie.
I will say this to kind of elaborate on not to. I apologize for cutting you off.
You don't. You're not sorry.
Maybe a little bit.
Sorry, not sorry.
Sorry, not sorry. Just like T-Swift. But no, just to just kind of or just kind of go over. One, I just didn't. I do feel like, okay, I get it's not supposed to be like you're supposed to be busting gut or something like that, but and you're right, comedy is subjective. But I do have a simple test for comedy, which is, can I quote this movie out of context and still make myself laugh? And there's really barely any examples I could think of where like I could. One, didn't have any jokes that were memorable or that were worthy of kind of like passing that test, which I feel like is a very simple test for any comedy to pass. Like, will I remember this enough to quote it later and still get a laugh out of it? The other thing with the guy, like I said, I don't know what he's been in or what he's done before. I will say this, and this is kind of a little bit of an aside, but it will tie back in. I've been on a little bit of a Workaholics binge. Kind of watching that show on like Hulu and stuff. And I will say this: like, I wish they had cast the guy Anders from Workaholics as the dude from this, because it's pretty much the same sort of physical character, tall, lanky, white dude, kind of like in a business setting. But Anders is funny. I've seen him be funny. I don't know who this guy is. I did not think he was funny. And honestly, the girl, the first time when they first introduced her, I was like, oh my god, they got Ellen Page for this movie? And I was like, oh no, wait, that's not Ellen Page.
So, I don't think Ellen Page's star has fallen that far yet.
Apparently Lucy Liu's has.
Well, Lucy Liu is, I don't know, she's on a TV show, so...
Yeah, I think that this was at her median. Because she's done some bad movies, but she's also still doing pretty good ones.
Yeah, and I guarantee you, like, Lucy Liu and Taye Diggs, if you really think about it, they're not in this movie a lot.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure they wanted, like, bigger name stars for the role of the bosses, and they were probably able to film this over, like, a month time span for them to go back to whatever it is they normally do. So,
Probably counting their money.
Like hanging out and being attractive.
Pretty much, yeah. And honestly, I thought they were pretty good in this movie. Lucy Liu and Taye Diggs, like, they play the roles very, very well.
Mm-hmm.
Lucy Liu being like the
Devil Wears Prada.
Yeah, kind of like the mean boss,
yeah,
or the taskmaster, and the Taye Diggs being just the total jerk. I like them. I thought they were fun in this movie. I particularly like the scene where Taye Diggs is like smashing the computer, and it's like,
yes,
that's my computer. He's like, oh, well, get mine then. And like, I laughed, I lolled.
Yeah.
But I don't know. This is the type of movie that you kind of go into knowing what to expect. I mean, a lot of these romantic comedies follow the same sort of formula. There's the meet cute, there's the comical misadventure, there's the what's kind of called the bridge, where the two leads split because they either break up or get upset with one another, or there's some misunderstanding, and then by the end everything gets resolved and back together.
Right. Like, I think I would have liked it if there was like another theme to it, like this was a Christmas movie, or like
I think there is another theme, and I will say I don't think they take it as far as they could have. but I think you definitely have some like critiques of capitalism going in this movie. You definitely have, you've got these two characters who are meant to be, very wealthy, and then they've got their kind of underpaid stafflings. You've got your male character, you've got Charlie, who keeps talking about how all he wants is to get a promotion. Meanwhile, you've got Harper, and all she's concerned about is like, she's not that she doesn't want a promotion, but she wants to kind of build up her writing brand. And then, she also, you see, all of these scenes where she's supposed to be paying someone and she doesn't have the money to pay them, and they're all probably making, she's probably making the same thing as like the delivery drivers who are dropping off food for her boss and that kind of thing. I think there's a lot there. I don't think they go as far with it as they could have, but I think that's definitely like a side thing going on.
I had not thought about that, Jen. You are kind of... I definitely think there is something you can look into.
I think the fact that you liked it really opened your eyes to the rest of it.
Sure, absolutely. I think if you're, if you're kind of watching it and going, well, what else is going on here? I think that's a big thing that's going on there is the side story of, two people trying to make it in this very expensive city, getting paid very little.
And there's also the scene, I don't know how this would tie in, but it stuck with me about which I thought was going to come back in some way, but it didn't quite come back, where the random person came up to her, was like, "Oh, you're so lucky you get to work for Lucy Liu. She's like, I went to the same school as her, and I emailed her, and now she's going to mentor me. Isn't that great?" And this is all that girl wanted, and she does. She breaks her neck for her, and this nobody just sends her an email, and suddenly it's, she gets what she wants.
Right. I think I think that does sort of tie in this whole idea of like, because if I'm not mistaken, part of it was that this rando who was emailing her was also like an alumni at the same fancy school.
Yeah.
If I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
So kind of tying into the idea that like if you're going to go to this fancy school, you probably had money to start with, and now you're getting kind of in with that. Anyway, I just think it's interesting because it's something you don't see in a lot of movies right now. I think, even though I think we can all agree that, money is a thing we all think about, you just don't see a lot of movies that kind of address, wage disparity. I mean, think of all the New York set movies you've seen where you're like, wow, no one should be able to afford this apartment, and you kind of see that playing out here where you've got people who are, and again, I think they could have gone farther with it, but I do also think they went farther with it than a lot of New York set movies and TV shows, and basically everything is set in New York.
Unlike the cast of Friends who all have minimum wage jobs, but they can afford those fancy apartments. Mm-hmm.
To be fair, we never really knew what Chandler did.
Well, didn't he... I know he got fired about midway through the series.
Yes.
But
and I think
it was just generic.
It, but like, yeah. It was like the 7th season or something.
Wait, there was a season without him in?
No, the character lost his job in the show.
Oh, gotcha.
Like, yeah, no one
no,
fired.
They don't just like fire a friend.
Yeah. I she watches that, but I find it a little frustrating.
We should do a Friends podcast.
Or not.
Thoughts.
I don't think I have the time or energy.
I mean, aren't there a few shark movies that we're going to be discussing soon?
Well, yeah. Hey, there are. Yeah. But you know what? We're going to need episodes after that.
Yeah, the rom-com v Sharknado.
Moving on.
Yeah.
No, Jen, I think you bring up some very excellent points. I mean, I enjoyed the movie overall, I would say. But I think I was looking at the movie as just all right, what straight up entertainment value? Like, I wasn't looking too deep into the perspective issues that the film might have.
Wait, to jump back a few steps, before we went live, you said that the Kiwi did not watch this movie.
Yes.
So you just watched a rom-com on your own?
Yeah.
How was that?
Good, I'm proud of you.
I've watched rom-coms before by myself.
Yeah?
When we watched The Christmas Prince, I watched that by myself.
Yeah. I told Kiwi, get out of the room. I'm watching a movie.
Well, it was also during the day when Kiwi was at work and I was home with baby.
Yeah.
They allow me to work allows me to work one day from home,
Yeah.
so we don't have to put baby in daycare like 5 days a week, which would be not great. So when I was doing stuff with baby, I threw on Netflix and watched
Yeah.
this one,
And so, baby, pick a movie.
and she was like, "Set it up."
No, she said step it up. Sorry.
Gorehound, Jen, Charlie, something you need to know about me is that I'll watch pretty much anything at any point in time, whether I'm watching it with someone or not. So, I mean, you're looking at
Delightful.
you're talking to someone who willingly went to the theaters by himself to watch the final Twilight movie.
To be fair, Twilight was amazing, and it just got better every movie. I'm not
It
saying
was-
the books are good. I'm saying the movies got progressively more absurd, and
The
I
movies are
got
great.
progressively more invested.
In my previous podcast, we did a Twilight retrospective, and it was great.
It's been amazing.
We should do one for this show. Anyway,
Another retrospective.
on Twilight, let's like Twilight like 10 years later.
Yeah. Where are they now?
When it all started when everything went downhill.
God damn you, Cake Stew, for cheating on our pets.
Whatever happened to Robert Pattinson? He's still around? He should have been in this movie.
He got a whole bunch of like movies where like he had to mess up his teeth, and I was like, oh man, he does ugly well,
Like, is it permanent teeth or just like fake teeth?
like fake teeth.
Okay.
No, he's a method actor. He really screwed up his teeth.
It's like punch me right
Hey,
here.
I don't know what it is. You just are not allowed to have bad teeth in Hollywood, no matter what.
Well, Hollywood typically doesn't hire ugly people.
Mm-hmm.
There was a cameo in here that we have not mentioned. Pete Davidson, who has been
Oh,
in
yeah.
the news because of his engagement
right.
to Ariana
Ariana
Grande.
Grande's fiance.
Yeah,
Yeah, Pete Davidson plays the.
he's just like a gay roommate, like no other
well,
part.
all of these romantic comedies need to have a gay friend.
Yeah,
They all do. At least most of them do, I've noticed. But
Mhm.
this one switches it up. This time, it's the guy who has the gay friend. Usually it's the girl.
That's true.
So this movie's breaking new ground.
Oh man, monumental. All right, well, what else do we got going on?
So I'm looking up Robert Patterson at the moment.
Yeah,
Yeah, tell us what he's up to.
I'm trying to. Let's see. What's... Huh. He's done a bunch of movies that I've never heard of. I'm guessing he's doing more either independent films or what. Good on him.
I don't know if it really contributes to anything, but I'm looking at the director's directography, and she has done quite a few TV episodes of the likes of Brooklyn Nine-Nine, Kimmy Schmidt, and Fresh Off the Boat.
The
all of
director
those are good
of
things.
Set It Up,
Yeah,
Not just like a random director.
Claire Sclanton.
wow, she's had her hand in like a lot of TV shows.
She doesn't have a Wikipedia entry.
Well, I know what the culture cast needs to do.
Make a Wikipedia entry for her.
Exactly.
Actually, I think this is her
Hey, she's
first
from Chicago.
her first
Hey,
movie
no way.
that isn't direct to TV. Good for her. Well, actually, it kind of is
Although,
direct to TV.
Yeah, isn't Netflix technically considered TV?
Right, because that's why they weren't able to, or that's why they weren't able to go into Sundances, because they don't have any theaters airing it, and that's why they want to open their own theater so that they can.
I did not know that.
Yeah,
You learn,
She
you learn
was
something new every day.
So, I think one of my favorite parts in the movie, and in fact, the reason I decided to watch the movie to start with, was because someone tagged me on Facebook of a screenshot of I believe it was Charlie saying, you know, what does Rick like? And he said, you know, not sour cream and people named Jeff with a G. And you know, someone tagged me in that because I also hate sour cream, and I found that very hashtag relatable.
Gorehound and I have a friend named Jeff with a G.
Mm-hmm.
we do.
Was he a monster?
Define monster.
Some people might say so. I call him a heartthrob.
Jeff, if you're listening, and I know you are, we love you.
and you are invited on whenever you'd like.
We'd probably have to watch a religious movie.
Passion of the Christ.
Oh my God, no thanks.
And the sequel, the coming sequel.
Yeah, that's weird that they're making a sequel to that.
I'm so excited for it. Because it used to be a joke. It used to be a joke, like, I can't wait for the sequel because we all know what happens. And they actually did it. So.
Well, you know what happens in The Passion of the Christ, too. I mean, it's probably the most
People
common
love
story.
that shit, though.
That's true. Is Mel Gibson directing it? I need to know. If not, then hard pass. Passion of the Christ 2.
It's weird that we've just forgiven Mel Gibson, isn't it?
Yeah.
Time heals all wounds.
I mean, the people that we deal with... well, I mean, we have a lot worse people on our minds every day.
He's in Daddy's Home, a Christmas movie about, like, father-son relationships, where he plays, like, the wacky...
The hard ass,
unhinged guy. And you're just like, it's weird that we just decided everything was fine there.
Mel Gibson's playing himself. Seriously, in that movie. If you need someone to be like the wacky unhinged guy, why not go straight to the source?
But why have we taken this, like, anti-Semite and said, like, yes, he can be our wacky, crazy guy? Like, it's just very strange.
Because everybody loves old Mel Gibson. I don't know if anybody really loves current Mel Gibson.
Yeah, they like him enough to put him in movies, though.
Well, just wait. Lethal Weapon 6. Or no, that's a...
They are talking about making a 5th one. We'll see if that happens.
Just wait. It'll be a soft reboot. It'll be like 21 Jump Street. Guarantee it.
Well, they want to bring back the... Oh, okay, hang on. All right, shut up, everyone. Sequel. In 2016, it was announced that Mel Gibson was working on a sequel to Passion of the Christ focused on the resurrection of Jesus. The screenwriter is blah, 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 blah. Mel Gibson wants to direct, blah, blah, blah. Big project, blah, blah, blah. The sequel will be called The Resurrection, and that part of the movie take place in hell. Staying in the film will explore what happened in the 3-day period between the death of Jesus and his return. He also revealed the film will probably be about 3 years away because of the massive undertaking. Jim Caviezel is coming back in his role as Jesus. Man, death has aged Jesus by like 14 years.
I was gonna say, isn't he a little old now?
What else is Jim Caviezel going to do? Seriously.
I mean, he can finally go back to being the manager of your local Denny's.
He was in that show, Person of Interest, that apparently everyone loved, but no one watched.
Really?
Never heard of it.
Yeah.
Like, it's one of those shows that, like, the fans of it are, like, rabid. Like, if you say, like, oh, I've never seen it, they're like, you haven't seen it? Don't you like good TV? Kind of like the crazy Firefly fans.
Oh my God, Firefly fans are so annoying.
Yeah.
Charlie.
Hey. Look, I am happy because you know what? There was a great TV show happened. It had a perfect kind of setup, and the movie kind of closed it off on a good ending. Our heroes are out there doing adventures. I am perfectly satisfied. We do not need to bring it back.
It was the greatest show ever, and you hate it, and I hate you.
It was a really solid show. I'm not one of them. Damn it!
I mean, it was definitely one of those things where I watched it and I was like, well, okay, that was fun, but I feel like people oversold it to me, and then I was like,
I watched it, I'm like, yeah, this is Star Trek.
Yeah, I never got around to it because I'm like, I still have to watch Star Trek.
You're better off. There's more content, too.
Yeah.
Aren't there like 27 seasons of Star Trek?
What's your point? There's not enough.
Could take a while.
Netflix has it all. But anyway, we digress. So, do we have anything else to say about Set It Up?
I do not.
I love it. I want a revival of the rom-com genre. I think America is ready. I think the success of this movie shows that America is ready, and I'm waiting with bated breath.
Yeah, I would like to watch more rom-coms that Actually, I think I'm just looking for a romance with more quality.
I'm in the camp of there's nothing wrong with rom-coms. I'm a sensitive guy. I got feelings. You know, I like to feel. I feel love. But it didn't. Here's the thing: whenever you try to I had the same feelings about Jurassic World, and it's going to come back. All right, I promise. It's just like they didn't do anything smart. You know, you have a genre that they haven't really made moves like this in so many years, and you don't really use it as an opportunity to evaluate, kind of dissect, sort of do something a little bit smarter or different. You didn't take the time between, like, okay, why did these films go away? Let's kind of explore, you know, kind of like the flaws in these movies and kind of make them better. Instead, they just sort of, well, we'll just pull out this old recipe, slap it on with a fresh coat of paint, and just call it, you know, innovative. And that's my biggest problem. Is just like nothing in this movie really kind of grabbed me or sort of engaged me. The only thing I will say, because this movie is basically like The Parent Trap, more or less, is that in this version of The Parent Trap,
the Lindsay Lohan classic.
Yes, the Lindsay Lohan classic, R.I.P.
I'm quoting the movie.
Say what you will. It's a good movie.
Yeah.
What's that? Parent Trap?
The Parent Trap.
Oh no, I'm quoting.
I love that shit.
I'm quoting Set It Up.
Yes, and I'm proud of you for that.
Thank you.
Nice
But-
job.
Is I at least enjoy that the parents in this version are just completely off, are for the most part pretty awful people through and through, and have no redeemable qualities. That is the only thing that I will give kudos to, is that the people involved are just completely horrible.
What?
The bosses.
Oh, okay. I thought you were saying like the systems. I'm like, I don't think they were bad.
No, not
people.
Not the assistants, the bosses. Like in The Parent Trap, the parents are just like, we just didn't want to start a family yet, so we have a convoluted plot of keeping our twins apart until they bring us together. Here, it's kind of sort of like, I don't know. That's just my feelings. That's just my feelings on it, for the most part. Get somebody funnier to make a movie like this.
Well, I thought the movie was just fine. It's not going to win awards, and I would, if we had more time, I would argue the notion that the rom-coms have disappeared. I just think their distribution has changed. Like, you see them more on your Hallmark channels and the Kiwis being silly.
Yeah, because I mean, you see like all these stupid sci-fi movies on primarily the Sci-Fi Channel, but then they also get distributed to Netflix and Amazon, so you see them more frequently.
And I think with movies like this, Netflix is a perfect, and other streaming services are perfect venues for these types of movies, because they're fun, they're easy to digest, they're enjoyable. I honestly don't mind the rom-coms. I wouldn't mind watching more Hallmark-style rom-coms just as part of my daily diet. But yeah, so I would recommend this. I think it's a solid enough cast. I thought it was fun. I think it's, good to throw on a date night or a Friday evening or something.
Absolutely. I would definitely, if somebody were to play this on a date, bang that person.
Did you make Thor watch it with you?
Actually, I didn't. Before we watched it for the podcast, I watched it alone.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll make him do it.
So, I have trivia for tonight.
It's trivia time!
When I was looking at Zoe Deutch.
I like Dutch.
Dutch. Anyway, when I was looking at her, like I was watching this movie, and I'm like, where have I seen her before? 'Cause she looked so familiar. So I looked her up online. I'm like, I haven't seen anything else she's been in, but like she looked completely familiar. Like, how do I know her? Where do I know her from? And then I looked up who her parentage was. Her mother is Leah Thompson, better known for the Marty McFly's mother in Back to the Future.
Really?
Yeah.
And she looks almost identical to her mother.
I'm gonna have to look.
Well,
this
now I
up.
have to look up a picture of the two of them together.
Leah Thompson. No H.
So
Culture
that's my
Cast.
little.
Not only
That's my trivia for tonight. May not be the greatest trivia, but I thought it was interesting.
So why isn't her name the same?
I don't know. She took her dad's name, I guess. Leah Thompson. I guess when Leah Thompson was married.
Oh, yeah, they
she
look
kept her-
identical. Oh, that's too funny.
Because I've watched Back to the Future more times than I should probably admit, so I have that whole cast's face ingrained in my mind, and I'm like, why does she look familiar? Where do I know her from? Like, oh, well, if they ever remake Back to the Future, I know who could play Lorraine.
Awesome. Good
Culture
trivia.
Cast. Culture Cast. Fun, and informative.
Can we close this out with our ranking of this movie on a scale of 5 stars?
I guess we could.
5 stars.
5 stars, huh? So you would put this
Absolutely.
on the same ranking as Terminator 2.
Terminator 2 is not on my star list. This one is.
Alright. That's a topic for another day. Cause
It's a solid 2. Just you know, as much as I mean to be funny, but at the end of the day, it is it's harmless. I mean, you're not really going to get anything offensive or be. If
you mean to be funny, where's the comedy?
Damn, that really hurts, man.
I'm sure you're quoting something, but I don't know.
I'm quoting him because he said earlier about this movie.
Gotcha. You have
I
spectacular
still feel
memory.
like I still feel like I'm funnier than this movie.
I'm more concerned about Gorehound's complete lack of short-term memory of something we just talked about.
I do have pretty bad memory.
You should probably go to the doctor about that.
Girls.
Yeah, right. You watch too much Two Broke Girls.
I haven't watched the
What
whole.
about you? What's your ranking?
I am wavering between a 2 and a 3, but I think I started this podcast at a 2. But I think Jen's steadfast positivity for this movie has brought me up to a 3.
I'll give it a 4.
Ooh. 4s are reserved for horror movies that are almost a 5.
No, don't. We don't have time for him to explain this. Don't. No, for the type of genre it is, I thought it was better than average.
All right.
So, all right, let's close this bad boy out before we
break an hour.
Before we dwindle and dwell on nonsense. So, all right, let's close this bad boy out. I'm Nick.
I'm the Gorehound.
I'm Jen.
And I'm Cousin Charles.
And this is the all-new Culture Cast. We'll see you next week, everyone.
You've been listening to the all-new Culture Cast. Check out our blog at znculturecast.wordpress.com. Send us an email at nick.culturecast@gmail.com. We'd love to hear your feedback, comments, and requests. Follow us on social media. Theme music by bensound.com. The all-new Culture Cast, a saltwater production. Original material copyright 2018. Thanks for listening.